Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is a beautiful day out. Nice and sunny and looking pretty good for the next few days. I'll tell you about the weather in just a moment. On our show today, Dawn Hids is going to come up from our social service department. She's going to talk about the Friendly Visitor Program. But before that, we're going to bring you a segment that Lisa did with CEO Brad Hudson. Going to give you kind of an overview of what's going on in the community. Unfortunately, Jennifer Carmarker is not feeling well today, so we're going to sit down, and I think Lisa's going to pick out a few stories she's going to tell you about. Hopefully, Jen will be back next week. We're also going to bring you another segment as well. Meetings today, there are 3 open meetings. United has their Architectural Control and Standards Committee meeting. That's a long one, and that's this morning, 9:30 if you're watching us in the morning in the Sycamore Room. GRF has their Media and Communications meeting, and that will be in the boardroom at 1:30. And then United has their Resident Advisory Committee at 3 o'clock today, and that's in the Sycamore Room. So those are your open meetings. Now the weather, really nice weather over the next few days. We got that high pressure system that's come in, not a real strong high. However, there are going to be some offshore winds and breezes associated with this. For us down here, not too much. I think maybe as we get into the evening, then tomorrow morning we'll get some offshore breezes. There is a watch for North LA County, Ventura County, Santa Barbara County. Not a red flag warning, but just more of a weather watch, they call it. And they'll get a little bit stronger winds up there. So just keep that in mind. But for us, just absolutely beautiful over the next few days. Going to drop down in temperatures on Sunday to about the mid-60s, 67, even more so on Monday. As we get to Monday, we are looking at a very, very slight chance of morning drizzle, kind of like we had a few days ago. Not much of anything at all. And then maybe into Tuesday, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies, a little bit of chance of drizzle. But that is real iffy at best, and if we get anything at all, it'll pretty much dampen things, and that's going to be about it. And we'll probably still have some sunshine that day. So today, tomorrow, Saturday, really nice, mid to low 70s. Let's look around the county and beyond, and beautiful everywhere you go today. Even if you're headed up to Big Bear, it's kind of nice, 45 degrees. They're certainly getting low enough temperatures. They're making snow overnight in the local ski resorts, Big Bear and Wrightwood and those areas. So if you head up there, you know, really nice. Not bad at all if you're a skier. It's certainly going to be nice and clear up there. Palm Springs 75, and yeah, a little bit of warmer today. Offshore breezes and probably a little bit more so as we get to the evening. But again, for this area, it's not going to be that much at all. Now, I do want to give you sort of a travel advisory. There is 2 kind of like colliding systems that are happening in the Midwest. St. Louis, Chicago, the Ohio Valley. You're getting warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf. You're getting very cold air coming down from Canada. So they're looking at a lot of strong storms in those areas there. There's a chance of some tornadoes in areas. So if you're traveling back there, check the flights. They could be delayed. This isn't the big snows that they had just last week. This is a chance of really just strong rainstorms coming in. We got the cold mass and the warm, dry, humid mass coming together. That produces that. It also is producing, it can produce tornadoes. You know, those areas now as we get into really the end of February, March, April, May, and so on, that's kind of the tornado season. This is a little early for it, but there is that possibility. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Don't let spine, knee, or hip pain get in the way of your day-to-day activities. Find yourself back on the golf course or continue playing with your grandchildren pain-free. With the latest advancements in stem cell treatment techniques, we can transform the way you look and feel today. I'm Dr. Bidai, a double board certified pain management specialist. Stop by or call our office today to see if you're a candidate for stem cell therapy.
Welcome back. We have Brad Hudson with our Village Management Services update, and here you are. Thanks.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again, and I wanted to take this opportunity to start off with to acknowledge the events of last week, which were quite tragic,
Right.
Particularly for family and friends of the individual involved, as well as for the first responders who were required to use significant force to bring the situation under control. And I also wanted to thank our residents who were very inconvenienced by all this, and we put together some plans to get them to their manors and to get them some food and to make that happen, and they were so gracious in their inconvenience, and I wanted to thank those residents, and also to the staff members who stayed late and helped shuttle those residents back and forth, provide some entertainment and food during this very tragic event. So I want to lead with that, and again, I'm very sorry this happened to our village, but in times of great stress and difficulty, I think our true character shows through, and I got a good glimpse of the character of this village and its residents and employees, and that part made me feel good. So with that, we always learn from these as well, and so as you have an event that maybe doesn't, you're not planned as well as you would like, then it gets an opportunity for growth, and so we're reviewing some of the issues that occurred during that day and during the event and the aftermath, and look forward to sharing some of our thoughts and insights with the board as we move forward. For certain, we're going to look at Gate 4 and see how we can make that a better emergency gate for both ingress and egress in the future. And so that'll be a change that I think will prepare us well for certainly that area south of the creek in the future. So, and then I did want to highlight, maybe it's appropriate to talk about some of the security initiatives we're working on, some of the big challenges we have. Before I do that, though, I would once again, and I know Chief Moy has been promoting a campaign of see something, say something.
Right.
And I would just encourage residents once again, if you see something out there and it looks unusual or feels wrong, then please share it with security. And even if you're wrong 9 out of 10 times, that one time could save a life or property or who knows what, but please share your concerns and issues with us regardless of whether at the time you think, well, maybe I'm overreacting. No, you're not.
Right. Well, if they have a gut feeling, or sometimes they're afraid. Sometimes people are afraid to come forward, but I think your advice is
well, I don't want, don't feel like a snitch. You're helping a fellow resident and many fellow residents oftentimes by identifying unusual circumstances that are happening. This is a fairly stable community, so if something looks out of the ordinary, it probably is.
Right.
There's a reason to take a look. So I wanted to share a little bit of what we're doing security-wise. Obviously, the big project and the big security initiative this year is the gate arms, and so I think we have some pictures of that. We're moving forward with this kind of technology at all of the gates. It'll probably take us the full year to get this implemented, maybe even a little bit longer. Each one of the gates is a distinct individual installation. It has to be designed given the characteristics of each area.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at. Prior to doing this, though, we have to go and remodel all the gates so they can accept the technology that we're trying to deploy.
So this one in particular, Clubhouse 2, we had talked about last time.
Right. This is probably our worst gate, and you can see some dry rot there and just some old air conditioning units, some sort of unusual kind of jerry-rigged electrical service. And so we want to update that, provide appropriate, this is my favorite picture maybe of all time here, where you can take care of business and have a nice drink of water at the same time. That's an unusual design. I suspect we won't replicate that in the remodel of this.
Well, when you remodel this, though, are you going to take everything out and update it?
Yeah, we'll update that with we'll do probably some a new water heater, new bathroom fixtures, a new electrical service, LED lights, and then obviously bring in conduit and infrastructure to support the technology that we want to deploy at this gate and others. Here's gate 10, and it's a little bigger than the other one, but it has a lot of dry rot and other dysfunction, and we'll go ahead and get that remodeled. I hear from these ambassadors a lot because most of the gates have been remodeled.
And they don't want to be in this gate. They want to go work in the other gates.
Yeah, this one hasn't. And so we'll get in there, and if you remember, I talked about this last week, but to construct a whole new gate with all the infrastructure and everything, it could be anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million. Wow. And so we're remodeling these gates for less than $25,000.
Wow.
And so it's a huge savings for the community. I think at the end of the day, we'll have around 10 or 11 of these that we remodel as opposed to building a new. And so that will save a lot of money for the community and have resources that can be applied to other projects of importance. So yeah, it's a very important project. It's really the highest priority for VMS, for the mutuals, for GRF. It is really what we're putting the biggest part of our effort into. And so you'll see the engineers out there. We have a contracted engineering firm who's taking measurements and doing a lot of survey work. And so don't be alarmed. We're not going to change the hours of a gate, or a lot of times when people see residents see staff or consultants out measuring a gate, they think, oh my God, they're going to change something. No, we're just evaluating how to best fit the gate arms and the cameras and all the technology into the space that we have. Right. And so that's what's going on there.
Good.
So I wanted to, look at this.
A new issue.
Yes, I wanted to highlight this as well, and it kind of ties into security. We have a huge problem with, I'll call it illegal dumping for lack of a better word, but placing large materials that won't fit into the bins in the area of the trash receptacles. And here you'll see a number of mattresses and other items that tend to get put out.
And couches, so mostly big items.
They're mostly big items. You do see computers and microwaves, old analog TVs. So it's a whole array of things, but it does a number of things. Number one, Waste Management won't pick these up except on the third Saturday of the month. So what we've started doing, because there's so much of this going on, is I send a crew around to pick these items up, because I don't want them sitting there for 3 weeks until Waste Management will pick them up. And so we've ended up collecting a lot of this material, and it is a cost that really shouldn't be absorbed by the community. It is a waste management cost, and so by putting these things out and requiring me to hire a crew to go pick them up, that cost is now absorbed by the community when it need not be. So I implore residents, please don't put things out in the area of the trash enclosures. Either wait till the third Saturday, which is fine. My preference is call resident services and we'll arrange an individual pickup right from your manor. So you don't need to drag it down here. You don't need to go down the stairs. You don't need to stack it or have a neighbor or friends help you with it. You just call resident services. They'll arrange the pickup for you, and Waste Management will come right to your manor, take the item out and put it on their truck at their cost and remove it from the community.
So why don't you think people are doing that now? What is the situation?
I think, number one, that takes a little bit of effort. You have to call. You have to make an appointment. You have to be home. Someone has to come over. And so it's a little more elaborate process. And also maybe it'll take a day or two before they can get out. And so I think generally, if I know my wife, when something is in the house that she wants out, she really doesn't usually give me a day or two. You know, it's out in the garage and then it's, you know, off somewhere at the right time. Obviously, many of our residents don't have garages and they can't really stage this material, so there's a immediacy. But there's consequences of doing this
Right.
That I want to show you next. Let's see if they'll get that. But yes, our guys get most of this material, and they put it in a 2 large, I mean, these are the largest dumpsters you've ever seen up in maintenance. We fill up 2 of these. They're very big, like the size of a semi truck.
Wow.
And we fill up 2 of them, I think, every week with
a lot of
this
stuff.
material. And I've got 2 guys who basically drive around and pick it up. And so it's a huge expense to the community that really shouldn't occur. But also, some of this material gets picked up by others before we have the opportunity to get it. And so here you see an area along Ridge Route, kind of directly east of the dog park there, where some of this material tends to end up, and we get a lot of homeless individuals who this can be a very short wall here along. This actually can get as low as 3 feet with 3 feet of barbed wire on top of it.
Oh.
And we do have individuals, and you can see here if you stepped on that couch there and then onto the wall, you could
Well, even
could
some of the
easily-
trees, you could sort of jump onto a
Right.
ledge there.
And we
a
have,
tree or limb.
right now, we have a big program that's getting ready to kick off with Third Mutual to, here's some more material here, to remove most of this vegetation on the outside of the wall, to raise the canopy to a much higher level to create some visual ability through there.
Right.
And then to replace this barbed wire with steel shepherd's crooks.
Oh.
And so that project, we've been talking to Third Board, we're doing the preliminary work right now. I think that the residents should be aware that that's going to start in the near future.
Right.
Where, and again, the first phase, we've already picked up most of this stuff.
Right.
And then we're going to trim back this vegetation away from the wall, raise the canopy, and then the shepherd's crooks will come thereafter. So I would say you can see how dense this is. It's
Right.
very, very woody. And so people get back there, they can't be seen. And
yeah,
so
it looks like people are definitely living there.
oh, there's no question. And then I have security going through there and moving them along periodically. So we're doing some of that. I think once we get it cleared out and get the shepherd's crooks, then we'll be in much better position. The community will be much more secure.
Well, yeah, and you don't want the folks from the outside trying to come in and vice versa and making it kind of their home. And then where do most of the homeless folks come from?
Well, it's a very diverse group. It's veterans. It's folks who have substance abuse, mental illness. You have disaffected youth. There's so many, homelessness can't really be categorized in this or this. It's a very diverse group.
Right.
And I think what you're seeing here is a lot of enforcement by other jurisdictions.
Okay.
Cities, county, others. And so typically these individuals will migrate to the area of least resistance. And typically that will be down maybe in the Santa Ana River or other places where you don't have a lot of people to complain. And so here, along Ridge Route, it's
Right.
kind of out of sight, it's brushy, and
Right.
and so if not for our security team, we wouldn't know that was going on, and we wouldn't be putting that pressure on them like we are now.
Right.
But a big thing is, and many of these folks need to be connected to services, whether that be the VA or drug and alcohol services. Many of them are
Right.
seniors, and so the county has the bulk of the responsibility for providing services to the homeless. And so we want to make sure that through our social services department, through security and compliance, that we make those kind of referrals and get these folks the services that they want.
Right.
Unfortunately, there is a large population of individuals who just like this kind of lifestyle, and they don't want to accept services. They just want to live that way, and so they become the more difficult group to deal with because it's really a choice that they're making, and they're very resistant to any kind of assistance. So if residents see this kind of thing, Please
Let
call
you know,
security,
right.
let them know, and we call the city, actually around here, it's a couple of cities that we abut, but we call the cities, we call the county, we bring in our social services to connect these individuals with county programs and services, so it's a real dynamic approach, and the biggest thing is for us to know what's going on.
Right.
Fortunately, most of the encampments we're aware of. We know where they go, and sometimes they're very brazen. Like we had some recent sort of encampments right on El Toro against our wall, and we were able to move those folks along, and they were availed of some county services.
Right.
So.
And once you get that all cleaned up, when did you say that was going to start?
Well, I think right now we're just mobilizing the landscape piece,
Okay.
but I suspect it'll be a month or so before we get going on that, and all the other pieces will follow. So
Okay.
we've got to get the landscaping cleaned up there. It's a little bit of no man's land, kind of like the dog park, where originally that was intended to be where Ridge Route was going to be located. Well, at some point down the road, it was realigned to its current location, and so this road right-of-way sits there with really no care and maintenance. And so right now we're assessing that and dealing with, we're the underlying property owner, but there's easements and things on top of that need to be dealt with various jurisdictions who build and plan roads in Orange County. And so we're
Okay.
dealing with them. But it's obviously not going to be a road because they
Right.
moved it
Yeah.
to the north. So that's why this is in this condition. It's been that way for 50 years. There's been people living back there for
Right.
many, many, many years.
Right.
And so we're going to put an end to that.
Okay.
And it starts with cleaning out the landscaping, and then, of course, the shepherd's crooks, and then security patrols.
And then
It's a
security.
very easy area to patrol if it's cleared out, because you can drive right along that alley there and see in there. Unfortunately, that is also an area with the very lowest walls in our community. Some as low as 3 or 4 feet.
Right, right.
And so that's why we need to put the shepherd's crooks in to get some elevation there, and also as a deterrent. So.
Well, very good information. Thank you for updating us, and the whole security thing I think is very important, and I know the residents are very excited to hear about that.
Well, so
especially with things like this going on.
Yes, it's our very highest priority, and I think when you have changes in the homeless environment in other jurisdictions, and you see this kind of migration into our community, you can see the importance of addressing this kind of long neglected area. I think the security gates will help, but the biggest help will come from our residents when they don't put things out by the trash bins.
Right.
Don't leave. Bicycles are the favorite target of virtually every thief, and thievery within the homeless community is not uncommon, and they like bicycles a lot too.
Right.
And so please don't leave bicycles unsecured on your patios, on your carports, other places, because folks will take them. And it may not just be the homeless, it probably won't be. It'll probably be someone's son or grandson who's visiting the community
Could be.
on parole or probation, and they decide to take a bike while they're visiting. We find that most of the crime we have, petty crime in the community, is committed by somebody's relative.
Oh.
And so secure your items within your car, within your manor, on your patio or balcony, and we'll have far, far fewer problems. And when you do have a problem, let us know right away, because we have on occasion retrieved many of these items.
Right.
And so if we know what they are, it's easier to retrieve. And we actually had some items that were taken a while back, and somebody was arrested in Dana Point, and because the resident had reported it, we had a list of what those items are, and they pulled somebody over in Dana Point, and our residents' items were in that car.
Wow.
And so if we know what's going on,
Right.
most of the time we can solve the problem.
Right.
So-
Well, they'll call resident services to get those things taken care of, or security if they see
Security, if
something.
it's any kind of security matter, or if you have suspicion that something's not right, maybe some criminal or other activity. And remember that security isn't just security. They also are the department that manages social services
Right.
and compliance. So
Right.
a call to security will get a lot of services and can address a lot of issues.
Excellent. Thanks for the update.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure
and
being
we'll
here
see you
again.
next time, and hopefully we'll have some new photos and show some good cleanup.
I've got some really interesting photos that I've been
Okay.
working on I'm going to bring next time.
Excellent. All right. We'll be right back after this.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
Well, for a lot of people, having a visitor once in a while is a welcome addition to their lives because maybe they don't have family around or they tend to stay in just because of their situation. The Friendly Visitor Program is a program that is offered through your social service department. And here is Dawn Hibbs today. She oversees that program, right?
Yes, I do, and thank you for having me, Ken.
Yeah, this is something that's, I'm looking at it now, going back to, 15 years it's been
Yes,
going
it
on.
is.
Wow.
It's a
Tell
long
an
time.
overview of the program, and I understand that the county itself has a program, although for people here, they would naturally come to social services.
Well, our program has been going since 2002, and we have, we service just Laguna Woods. So all of our volunteers are residents, and all of the people we visit are residents. Most of our residents are homebound, but we actually see anybody who would like companionship. We ask our volunteers to visit twice a month for an hour each time, and to call before, and the two set up a time that's convenient for both for a visit. The people, most of the people just kind of talk and converse. When you're isolated for long periods of time, you lose that ability to socialize, to have a conversation, to have the give and take that people normally have when they have a chat of some kind. Some of our volunteers play cards if the person wants to do that, but for the most part, it's just an hour of chatting and finding out what's happening in your life. Some people look at old photographs and reminisce about that.
Yeah.
And you know, your family has seen those photographs hundreds of times and doesn't want to see them
Right.
anymore, but a new person might really enjoy hearing about your trip to Hawaii.
How do you connect these people up?
I get referrals from all sources, neighbors, sons and daughters. The best referrals come from the person himself or herself who calls me and says, I'd like to have a friendly visitor.
Okay.
Because they're already sold on the program.
How many people do you have in this program?
As
As far as the people who are asking to have visitors.
At the present time, we have about 40 people
Okay.
that we visit, and I have a few more than 40 volunteers, because if something happens to one of the volunteers
Right.
or they go on a vacation, we need people to fill in.
How do you match them up? How do you figure out the personalities?
I look at the information that I have. I visit everybody that before I send someone, and I gather some information about their life so I can see where they've lived and where they've traveled and what they've done. And then I also ask them about the things that they enjoy doing. And I gather all that information, and then I look at the people who are available and try to find something that they have in common. Now, that works, and sometimes it doesn't work. And one of the most unusual combinations I had was a gentleman who was a World War II veteran very social, very talkative. But the only person I had left to send to him was a Korean doctor. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it out.
Yeah.
And the two of them formed a wonderful friendship that lasted several years and had plenty to talk about.
Wow.
So it was
You never know.
interesting. Yes, right.
As far as people needing this program, you mentioned that sometimes you get referrals. Do you feel that's because maybe they don't know where to turn to, or they've gotten so shut in that they've just maybe said, well, this is the way it is?
I think that what happens as you get older, there are less opportunities to bring new people into your life. In our training, we talk about 3 factors: loss of eyesight, loss of hearing, and loss of mobility. All of those situations tend to isolate people and make them afraid to venture out, to the degree that they don't belong to the clubs and they don't go to the activities that they did before. And even people who have lots of relatives are isolated for most of the time, because if you have three sons and each son calls you every day and each son visits, you know, every week, that still leaves hours and hours that you are by yourself. So we would love to be with anybody who feels like they could use another friend, and that goes for most of us.
Yeah, and I understand that. My dad lives in New Mexico in Santa Fe, and my stepmom passed away a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago. And even though my brother lives there along with his daughter, his young daughter, and they live in the same house, you know, they have their own lives. And so I know for my dad, most of the time he'll take a walk once a day, and he hears fine, he sees fine, but
it's difficult to meet new people.
Yeah, it is. You know, he's like, oh, you know, I go down the Veteran Center and I don't like the food that's there. You know, he'll make up some way of convincing himself not to go. Yeah.
And he's probably more unusual than most who sometimes don't even venture out.
Yeah. So I'm going to give the information to call. It's on the screen right there, 597-4376. That's your direct line?
Yes.
Or you can email Dawn at dawn.hibbs@vmsinc.org. And that's either if you feel that you want a visitor or you know someone who would benefit, or if you want to volunteer, right?
Right. I'm always looking for volunteers. I especially would like to reach the people out there who I know could use our program, and hope that they will call.
All right. Good to see you. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, you take care, and we'll be right back.
Life changes, but your routine doesn't have to. With Coastal Medical Alert, you are never alone. With Coastal Medical Alert, there are no hidden fees, setup fees, and your installation and activation of your device are absolutely free.
Coastal Medical Alert is a wonderful thing to have, and I wouldn't be without it.
Coastal Medical Alert, proudly serving the Laguna Woods community. Call today for more information.
Welcome back. With us right now is Jordan Levere, and Jordan is bringing some new yoga classes to the village. So I'd like to welcome you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the different classes that you're bringing here, and they seem a little bit different to me. So why don't you tell me about your background and the type of classes that you're bringing?
Yeah, so I'm a certified yoga instructor. I teach a form of yoga called Veni Yoga.
Veni Yoga.
Veni Yoga,
Okay.
yes. And Veni Yoga is a safe form of yoga where we flow in and out of postures in order to help our students find the proper form for their body and so that they don't overdo it too quickly. It's also, we modify and adapt the practice for each individual student in the class.
Okay, what do you mean by flow in and out of poses? Because I thought yoga was always sort of that way anyway, kind of slow. I've never done yoga, so I don't know.
Well, there are so many different types
There
of
seems
yoga.
to be.
Yeah, so one of the things, a lot of times in classes, you may find you just go straight into a pose and you hold.
Okay.
Sometimes that can cause injury because someone will go a little too far too fast.
Okay.
And so say if we're twisting, we will do a gentle twist, come back, another gentle twist, and each time we're going a little deeper into the twist so
Okay.
that we don't twist too far, torque the spine, and end up hurting ourselves.
So in general, what is yoga? Why don't you explain, since I'm obviously don't know, because I thought yoga was all very slow and gentle anyway. What is yoga as far as, what's the essence of it, if you will, if I can use that term?
Absolutely. The essence of yoga. Yoga is all about awareness, breath, and movement. So in each class, we link every single movement to the breath. It calms the mind, yes. And then it brings awareness to what's happening in our bodies. Through this movement, we begin to find better posture just in our day-to-day life. So it's a wonderful thing for everybody.
Like it.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the classes that you're starting on January 8th, and there's 3: therapeutic yoga, then there's one called yoga flow, and then yoga plus aromatherapy.
Yes.
So tell me about each one of those.
So therapeutic yoga. Therapeutic yoga, we will focus on specific conditions. So chronic issues such as osteoporosis, low back pain, pain management for different.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. So we'll focus on different areas. Each class will have a different area that we're focusing on. And again, that will depend on who's in front of me, what we're dealing with each day. So I don't come in with a script. I design a class based on the needs that I see in front of me.
Okay.
And so, which is an interesting approach. But also with this class, you'll learn like day-to-day things. So if you're coming to see me once or twice a week, I'll send you away with tools, things that you can do in the morning, things you can do in the evening to kind of help lubricate those joints and feel much better in your day-to-day life.
Very good. Now yoga flow.
Yoga flow. So yoga flow is where we link breath to movement in a more rather than, say, therapeutic yoga, we're moving more slowly from pose to pose. There's a lot more talk. In a flow class, it's more of a moving meditation.
Okay.
And so we're not stopping to workshop things and figure out what's happening in the body. We're flowing. We're getting into this meditative state in our flow classes. So when you come to this class, you will feel energized, invigorated, uplifted. You'll feel stretched, but at the same time, you're also building strength throughout the body.
Okay, and then finally, yoga plus aromatherapy. I know what aromatherapy is, but how are you going to bring that into the class?
So we'll diffuse different oils throughout class. Each class will have a specific theme, maybe focusing on grounding, bringing more joy into our lives, balancing. So the oils will go along with the theme for the class. They'll be diffused, and then also I'll have the option if people want to use them topically, they can have oils placed on the wrist and then use them that way as well.
So all these different classes together, and you're doing on Mondays and Wednesdays, would that, if somebody wants to do the full run, would they be able to do that? Or
Absolutely.
do you kind of evaluate what would be right for them? Because it sounds like, especially with therapeutic yoga, there may be some people who that might be the right thing for to at least start with.
Absolutely. So for some people, we'll want to start with therapeutic yoga, especially if you have some sort of chronic issue. That's the perfect class for you.
Okay.
We learn to manage it. That doesn't mean if you come to a therapeutic class, you may never want to go to a flow class. You may work your way up to a flow class. The flow class is more for people who do not have serious issues in their body.
Okay.
If someone were to show up to my yoga flow class and I notice there's a lot going on and it's not the right class for them, I would absolutely refer them to the therapeutic class.
Okay, that sounds good. And of course, the aromatherapy one, you know, that seems like it could be for almost anyone.
Yes, and the thing is the type of yoga I teach with Vini Yoga, we offer modification and adaptation for every single student in the class as needed. So even if someone comes to the class and it's a little advanced for them, I will give them options. I will give them props to help them find the pose that works in their body, though they may look different from the person next to them on the mat.
Okay, so the aromatherapy one, do you bring in the different scents? And
I do,
okay.
I do. So I use doTERRA oils, the therapeutic grade safe oils, and be introducing them to lots of fun stuff.
Okay, do you have bacon aromatherapy? 'Cause
Bacon?
That's the one I would love.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice. You know, these classes, they are all over at Clubhouse 5, am I
Yes,
correct?
Clubhouse 5.
And they're going to start January 8th. So if you would like more information, the number is on the screen. It's 597-4273. Residents only, because the space is limited. You can see you can choose from three different classes, and there are different times there. So maybe you know, you want to take one or two of them, you certainly can. Bring a yoga, I knew I was going to say yogurt, right? A yoga mat, bottle of water, and a small towel. Blocks and straps will be provided, right?
That's right. That's right. And I also recommend if you have a blanket, maybe bring a blanket.
Okay.
It helps to kind of help us sit in the poses a little more comfortably. So maybe like a Mexican woven blanket or something like that.
All right, that would certainly help me.
Yes.
I would need that. I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so
and
much.
welcome to the village and
Thank
the recreation
you.
department and bringing these classes here. I think they're going to be well received, and it's great that you're bringing something slightly different.
I hope so. I'm really excited to offer this to the community.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
good to meet you, and we'll be right back.
I moved to Laguna Woods from North Carolina a year ago and realized that I needed to change my Medicare insurance plan. I was fortunate enough to learn about the services provided by Susie and Richard White Insurance. They were wonderful.
There's no need to wait for an open enrollment for your new Medicare plan.
We are here all year long and would love to meet with you and make your Medicare transition in your new hometown easy.
Well, as I said earlier, Jennifer Carmarker is unable to be here today, but Lisa has looked at the latest headlines, and you're going to kind of wade through this.
Yes.
Because you picked out a few things that you want to talk about.
So I ran downstairs and got it on the first floor. So, you know, laughter is the best medicine. So we were just talking about yoga, but now we have laughter yoga.
Laughter yoga.
So when we do a lot of laughing around here, so I think this is great. So some of the highlights are about laughter yoga. It's helping people forget their troubles. So at the Laguna Woods Clubhouse 1 on Monday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 25 or so seniors gather together to stretch and warm up, and then they launch into some serious laughter. So instead of the usual down dog or warrior stance, they are doing jack-in-the-box laughter exercises. You know, it's making me laugh just talking about it.
Jack, are they
Yeah,
having...
so they jump out and they do some crazy laughter stuff.
I was thinking they were having a burger.
No.
Not that kind of jack-in-the-box.
Created in 1995 in Mumbai, India, it is now practiced in more than 10,000 classes across 100 countries. Cheryl Russell, who's 68 and a certified laughter yoga instructor, says you really can't do anything else while you're laughing, and when you're doing that deep belly laughter, there's nothing else that can go on in your head. So fun. What a great class. And you can find this story on the front page of the Globe, and then it's also picked up on page 5. And then also the board passes a resolution regarding traffic fines. The Golden Rain Foundation Board on February 6th unanimously passed a resolution outlining a schedule of traffic fines. And they also made a motion recommending the reconstruction of 11,000 Bluebird boxes throughout the village. Now the fines increased for violations to include reckless driving and headlight issues. But the board did fail to pass a resolution regarding the Bluebird boxes and sent it back to the Community Activity Committee. And for all those details, again, you can look at the front page or continue on page 5. And it was Mardi Gras this week, so this weekend, grab a mask and a costume and head over to Clubhouse 5 to join the Baby Boomers Club. We could do that. And that
I have beads.
Oh, you have beads, great. Well, I think I
beads.
have a mask, so it might be kind of fun. This Saturday, the 17th at 6 p.m. for a fun-filled dance party with music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and some jazz for that New Orleans flavor. That story's on page 21. And then we have the Healthy Living Report on page 38. There's an article on cataracts, pointing out the most common traits, different kinds, and what you can do if you are concerned about them. And we cannot forget about the letters to the editor, which are located on page 8 this week. That's a popular staple of the Globe. You can read about landscaping issues, synthetic grass, lawn bowling, honeybee population, and a note about stolen oranges. So you can pick up the Globe in the Community Services Center on the first floor every Thursday morning. So we hope Jennifer will be back with us next week. And Ken, what do you have for us in movies?
In movies, we have Blade Runner. And Blade Runner is actually, technically, Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
Because the original one came out, I want to say, I'm thinking 30 years ago.
Don't say that out loud. You're dating us.
Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, I think so. The original Blade Runner took place in 2019, so this is 2049. Harrison Ford reprises his role as as Rick Deckard, who was a Blade Runner. And the new Blade Runner, Ryan Gosling, he plays the character, and he discovers a long-buried secret that leads him to track down the former Blade Runner to find out all the missing pieces, and of course they go after the replicants, and I guess the older replicants are being eliminated, but the older replicants, a lot of them were kind of nice guys, and the new ones aren't. You know, that's kind of the gist of it. It is a sci-fi. Ridley Scott, wow. This is a, certainly a sci-fi movie. It's interesting that the first one took place in 2019, a year from now.
Yeah.
But this one takes place 30 years later, and it's brought to you by Sterling Financial. By the way, this is a long movie. It is 164 minutes, so that's a little over 2.5 hours. So please keep that in mind.
Have the extra popcorn.
Yeah, and it is rated R. There is nudity in this, just to let you know, if you don't want to tune in for that, but that's what the movie is. 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Friday.
Great.
Now, the other movie that you're going to tell us about, Harrison Ford is back, but a much younger.
It's like Harrison Ford week.
He was hairy. He was hairy back then.
Was he hairy?
Yeah, Harry Ford.
It's called Witness, and it does star Harrison Ford. He comes back he's back as John Book, and Kelly McGillis, and it's directed by Peter Weir. It's rated R, and that was released in 1985, so it's a bit older, but a good one nonetheless. A young Amish boy is a sole witness to a murder. The policeman John Book, which Harrison Ford plays, goes into hiding in Amish country to protect him until the trial. And as you had pointed out, I think the other day, that Kelly McGillis, got her stardom in Top Gun.
Top Gun. That's as far as I know. That was
right. And this is definitely a different character for her.
It was, and I'm trying to think. It was about the same year, or maybe a year later.
Right. So she went from her leather jacket to an Amish outfit.
Yeah.
So quite a different character. This one's on Monday, February 19th at 2 p.m. And this is brought to you by Wrestling. So. And
I have heard, I don't know if it's true or not, that there will be a remake of Top Gun.
Oh, yes, there is.
Am I right? Did you hear that too?
Oh, yes. I follow Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be in it?
Yes, he's going to be in it, and they're going to try and have some of the others back in it, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
Well, the one character died in it, remember?
Well, right, of course.
The guy who went on to be
coming back from the dead or anything like that.
Well, you never know. He was the one that went on to be on ER. I forget his name.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to tell you a few more things, including the weather. Yeah, I did hear that.
The Laguna Hills Lodge is very proud to have been awarded the TripAdvisor Award of Excellence for the last 5 years. Discover this family-friendly boutique hotel and enjoy our crystal clear pool and spa, beautiful gardens, and convenient location. Our designer upgraded rooms feature luxury comforts of much higher priced hotel chains and include free continental breakfast, parking, Wi-Fi, and more. We match the lowest price you can find online. Ask about our Laguna Woods special offer.
South Bay Jewelry has established trust in Laguna Woods for over 35 years.
We are expert GIA gemologists and appraisers of jewelry, estates, watches, and valuables. It is evident that South Bay Jewelers' recipe of superior customer service, quality, and trust is the reason for continued success in Laguna Woods. We specialize in custom designing, bridal and anniversary, and watch and jewelry repairs, with all services done on the premises.
South Bay Jewelry, next door to OPA in Aliso Viejo.
The Laguna Hills Lodge is very proud to have been awarded the TripAdvisor Award of Excellence for the last 5 years. Discover this family-friendly boutique hotel and enjoy our crystal clear pool and spa, beautiful gardens, and convenient location. Our designer upgraded rooms feature luxury comforts of much higher priced hotel chains and include free continental breakfast, parking, Wi-Fi, and more. We match the lowest price you can find online. Ask about our Laguna Woods special offer.
You know, you were talking about Mardi Gras. That was this week. Have you ever been to New Orleans?
No. I've been to Mardi Gras parties, but not New Orleans.
It's fun. I was there in, I think 2000 and then 2004, so it was pre-Katrina.
Oh, good.
And it was a neat place. I love that kind of food. I
bet.
I don't cook it as much as I used to, but I've cooked turtle soup and alligator and all that kind of stuff.
I had some alligator in Florida. I
Yeah.
have to say it's tasty.
It is very tasty.
I do like it.
But it's a fun place to go, and if you ever get the chance, you know, there's a saying, it's very hard to get a bad meal in New Orleans, and I think that's really true. And I learned all about the culture and the food, and it's, you know, quite interesting, all the different people that influence that place, the French, the Spanish, of course the African Americans, the Caribbean, and I forget the band of original Native Americans that were there, Appalachia, but they influenced with a lot of ingredients as well. The filet powder that is used in gumbo to thicken it came from them. So
well, you know a lot about cooking. I think you need to make us something.
Maybe I will. But yeah, if you ever do get a chance, and you know how I started in all that is because back when the Food Network started, there was Emeril Lagasse on it.
Oh, sure.
And he was the star, and I got really into all that kind of cooking.
Right.
And got his books and studied it and made my own spices and the whole bit.
As
so
I mentioned,
it
you
is
better
good
make
food.
us something.
All right. That's why you don't know this, but we got married at the Jazz Kitchen up at downtown Disney several years ago, back in 2005. So New Orleans and Disney, there you go. All right, we got just a few minutes left. I do want to tell you something that kind of goes along with this. It really does. The Black History Month, of course, is in February, and the African American Heritage Club is putting on their Black History gospel concert. A lot of gospel music down there in New Orleans. And they're presenting this at Christ Our Redeemer Choir. This will be February 17th at 4 o'clock. So if you would like to go to this, it is at the Performing Arts Center. And the choir is a local choir directed by Clarence Walker. They're going to have music and fun and all kinds of stuff. So check that out. Tickets are on sale at the Performing Arts Center box office.
Great.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we had them on, and I've been to a gospel thing once at the House of Blues.
Oh, so have I.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the weather.
Okay.
Nice weather. The next few days we're going to be in the low to mid 70s, bright and sunny out there. I did tell you about the wind conditions. I don't think it'll be strong here, but there are some offshore conditions that will be happening. I think more about breezes here. What you might get some is sundown and then sun up tomorrow, but that's going to be about it. But as we go forward, there is a little chance of drizzle coming up on Monday and Tuesday. I think it's going to be marine layer type drizzle, but I think that's going to be about it.
I just saw a report we're down like 7 inches.
Yeah, yeah.
So not good.
So it'd be nice to get some anyway, but I don't think it's going to be much of anything. Orange County today and beyond is looking pretty darn good in the mid 70s and low 70s around the beaches. I put 67 and you know, I look at the beaches from Seal Beach down to Dana Point, and they usually vary by 3 or 4 degrees. And I kind of put it somewhere in the middle. So anywhere from about 65 to 70 degrees on the beaches, Big Bear 45, and Palm Springs 75, and San Diego, if you're headed down there, absolutely beautiful at 71.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
So-
you really can't go wrong here in Southern California.
Right. Great, great,
That's why we
great
all
weather.
live here. We have wonderful
But
weather.
the weather would, the rain would be nice.
We do
Not
need
as
the
much as
rain.
we had last year, but
No, I know.
right
we
what
need
we
some.
need.
So tomorrow we have the United update. We have Richard Palmer from the Tea Party Sentinels. We have Dr. Trin with Tongue Out, and then we have visited by the Sterling Financial Advisors. So good show tomorrow to cap off the week.
Yep. So tune in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.